Om Sadashiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Parintam Vande Guru Param Om Namaste. Om Shanti 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 Om. We go to the page, verse 44, page 1362. Verse 44. Isn't it correct? Okay.
Hold on a second.
Okay. All right. So we are concluding the chapter 6 on Upasana and Nididhyasana, in which towards the end, Krishna is elaborating on that concern that came from Arjuna in regards to complete his spiritual journey, meaning to say, so if I die before, so am I going to lose everything, and then Krishna was answering to say that nothing is lost in terms of inner growth. Inner growth is inner growth. It remains even when you change the instrument of experience, or with a new body, mind, a new birth. Your inner growth, the inner growth of the soul remains intact. Now, so the verse 44, it's that begins the final conclusive verse. Krishna, just to make sure, says that though not willing, he's drawn towards yoga because of the very previous practice. So meaning to say, you can't help it. Once you develop a certain momentum, certain vasana, you can try to move away, you can try to go back to samsara, you can try to become a materialistic and run after money and power and prestige and everything. So you won't be able, even if you willingly want to move away from spirituality, you're going to be drawn towards yoga because of the vasanas which were developed. And in the beginning, then Krishna says, though a curious student at the beginning, initially, he soon goes beyond the Karmakanda of Vedas. In the beginning, almost, there are two kinds of people that go into spirituality. Some of them come with a huge vasana, spiritual vasana load. Some somehow they are curious. They have good mind, and they are curious to understand what is this enlightenment business, that people talk about in these spiritual circles. So some people are curious, and some people, they come to spirituality because they can't stand the suffering. It's another kind of people, They can't stand the suffering. They want to remove the suffering, which was more or less my case. But it's never just one thing, I mean, one has a spiritual vasana, one cannot stand the suffering. But there are some students that they come out of curiosity, and the curiosity grows to become an interest. The interest grows to become a vasana, and then one ends up moving into the Veda Kanda section of the Vedas, going beyond the Karmakanda. So how is this spiritual vasana expressing itself in one's birth, in one's life, you know? It means that, how are you going to know? It means that I'm attracted to spiritual books, you know? I'm attracted to spiritual people. I'm attracted to spiritual sanghas. Wherever there is somebody giving a lecture, so I feel like, oh no, let me check it out. So that's how we understand. That's how we know that people have a spiritual vasanas. Not in which way does the spiritual inclination express itself? Attraction. Attraction which is beyond a certain logic. Okay. Somebody should die, and then he says, Gita should not be there. You should suffer. You should suffer in life. A great tragedy strikes. There are several events that may turn you into spirituality, you know. And as I said, suffering, frustration, but by not managing to get your way with life, you know. So even tragedy can bring people to spirituality. And then Swami goes about giving some examples or illustrating this point. Without any deliberate plan, you find yourself, you know, moving that direction. And then he gives the example of Aurobindo, saying that Aurobindo's parents did not want him to be in contact with the Indian culture. They want him to become a Western. You know, he was studying in England and so on. And then, but somehow Aurobindo being in England, oh, sorry, being in England is yet being in England, yet he was attracted to the Indian culture, you know? He got in contact with people working for the freedom of India, and then one thing took to another. And then Ganji was there, Ganji, and when he found himself, he was in the spiritual path. Gradually, he got sucked into that spiritual culture, and he came for the freedom struggle, and then from there he went into the ultimate struggle, which is the struggle to remove this cosmic ignorance of the true nature of reality. Therefore, he became a yogi. Even if you are in the most materialistic society, such as the United States, this vasana may drive you into this path, into the India Vedic culture. That's why some people, I mean, the story of Buddha is very illustrating on this point. It's said, you know, that his father did not want him to get in contact with the world because he did not want anything of the world distracting him. He was supposed to be the king, and some psychic reader has seen that in the cards or somehow that he was going to have two possible futures. One, he would conquer the entire world, or he would conquer himself. And she let it at that point, And the father, the king said, I said, okay, of course, he's going to conquer the entire world because I don't want him to get in contact with this culture of knowing the self to become a sannyas, because all of that was available outside the gates of the kingdom. The father did everything to suppress that potential destiny, but nothing has stopped it. Not all the comforts and luxury and pleasure of the palace stopped that vasana from manifesting itself. Spiritual maturity, as Swami Shimananda beautifully says, spiritual maturity is not a revolution. It is a gradual evolution. Spiritual maturity cannot be forced by desiring it or by willpower. No, I want to be mature. I have the willpower. I want maturity. I want, and I desire. So I want, maturity is something that it's very beautiful, very complex, and only Ishvara has that clear picture of how this maturity takes place, because it's all happening in the causal body, in the subconscious mind of the individual, the vasana load and what kind of, and sometimes the person at the surface of one's life still appears to be a normal samsari, but inside only Ishvara knows. You cannot force your child to become a yogi. You can provide certain conditions, but you never know. My son, for example, was living around me on different kind of sanghas, spiritual sanghas, and he has no interest in spirituality. Papaji said, oh, he is very spiritual, developed creature, and so on, But you never know. So, but you never know. One day he may start to be a casual, curious student, and then that suppressed tendency of vasana that, for example, in regards to my son, Papaji supposedly felt, so it may surface. That may begins as a jñāsu, which means a curious person. And then somebody may approach God and the spiritual path more academically, more like a hobby or more like a social thing, Like my son and his wife, they have to be part of a certain church in the United States. Otherwise, in the United States, it's almost impossible you don't belong to a church. It's something very strong culturally. And so he may be part of a church because, it's a way to live, way of life. But that may grow. We never know the true motivation or intention or tendencies that are moving a person. Person may be totally busy with business and goes for a business trip, and then there you encounter some Indian philosophers and so on. So same concept. Okay. Some people may start like that. Okay. It's a small flame, but it can grow. And then if it grows too much, it becomes unstoppable. And then Swami presents this analogy, which is very nice, of carry coal means you have to keep it in the flame for a long time. On the tip of the coal, small dot. Then you blow it, and then it comes slowly. Now, he presents three kinds of materials that can bring about fire with different degrees of difficulty, or kapuram, camphor, or Vahaton, Karibudi. So it is kapuram. Kariko, you know that it's relatively easy. The third one is extremely difficult. So here he kept the example with Sanskrit words here. But you take a banana tree, and then the central part, it's very wet inside. You throw that in a fire, and it's going to blow off the fire, to finish the fire, destroy the fire. You understand? And some other things like coal, you know, it gets fire relatively easy. And there is something else which I believe it's comfort, that anything makes it catch fire. Okay, it's an analogy on those lines. So just to describe three kinds of students, the ones that they are on fire very, very easily in the contact with some fragments of the scriptures, sometimes even without the help of a teacher. It's just they're just ready to, you know, to fire up. And then the middle one, like most of us, that it's like coal, that we need to keep blowing. We need to just add more and more energy to bring forth that fire, that mumukshutva. In that the beginning, it's not really mumuksha; it's a small desire or curiosity or hobby, or you know. And some people forget it. And then Swami often presents a joke saying that the people, the third category, they are so difficult, you know, that they can even turn off the fire of the guru. He says, so if you bring some people like that in satsang, he may even destroy your own self-knowledge, you know, because in analogy. Okie dokie. You got the sense. Now you got the concept. Of course, Swami, I don't know if Swami actually present this joke of his, saying that if you get somebody like that in a Vedanta class, it may turn off your own not jnana, you know. I think he did not present it here. Oh, no, here. So this third category of students, they are so powerful that they will put out the teacher's knowledge also. No? So, of course, the teacher's knowledge is not subject to forgetfulness. He is just joking. No? But it can put out the shraddha, or the small flame of knowledge, on certain students that are growing in the knowledge, but then the presence of certain less qualified students could destroy that small flame, that small shraddha in the scripture. That can easily happen, you know? Understood? 45, striving diligently, that yogi who is refined through many births, and who is free from impurities attains the supreme goal consequently. So he's wrapping things up, giving all kind of encouragement and inspiration to Arjuna. Keep striving, never give up. That is going to bring about purification and refinement of mind. Recognize that you are here because in many past births or lives, you have been developing these spiritual tendencies. And in this lifetime, you will grow in purity and refinement, and you're going to attain the supreme goal consequently. And if it does not happen this birth, don't worry. Next birth is going to be a piece of cake, because he already covered that, in the previous verse. And then if you are born, or if you are born in this one already fully qualified, highly qualified, it means that you are yoga brashta, due to a lot of spiritual work you did in previous lives. You are born as a spiritual genius. And here it's called yogi. So you are yogi, you are highly qualified inquirer into the nature of the self. So who has got advantage? Advantage yoga brasta. And this yoga, and how does this yoga feels this advantage? How does this spiritual genius advance express itself? So you can tell that when people are more purified, and more clear, more subtle. So this spirit advantage expresses itself as refinement, purification, and clarity, and strong determination, desire for completing the journey. All of that can easily be assessed. And how does this mental purity or refinement express itself? I used to joke with my students in Brazil that I have a friend of mine who is into electronic, and I keep telling him we're going to develop a mokshometer, and also a purity meter, as Swamiji is saying here, to make an instrument to see how qualified, how pure. And then for people who believe that, no, I got it, I got moksha, and then let measure your moksha. No? So there is no such a thing. And not even the teacher, the guru, can access that for sure. Okay, only Ishvara knows. That's the truth. But you can infer more or less by what comes, the words that come and the action that come out of people, the behavior. So the indication is natural inclination for spirituality. Then Swami is equating purity and refinement, shows up or express itself with a strong desire for spirituality, of course. So this is a person with a natural inclination due to one's progress in previous births. And then we say, oh, so why not me? Yeah, Lord is special. Now we know that it's not really like that. Oh yes, because the person very young age, it was already, so advanced spiritually. So God is special. Krishna wants to make it clear. Different grades of purity is not because of God's preference to certain people. No? It's determined by Ishvara system. Ishvara system is not partial. It's an intelligent, precise system. And you cannot, it cannot get any virus, let's say, if we bring the analogy of a computer. It makes no mistake. It's precise. It's pure intelligence. If somebody is born as a spiritual genius, it's not by chance. If somebody is born, very roughly and grossly, as a samsari of the lowest level possible, it's not by chance. It says much about the nature of that soul, the progress of the soul. So don't put any of this blame on Ishvara. Ishvara is a system, okay? And is not responsible. The responsibility lies in the human intelligence or free will that allows us to discern, discriminate, determine, learn, grow, develop, or not. So the exercise of our intelligence, which was given by God, of course, so it's going to make it even grow, either grow or shrink. And then if according to our conduct in life, one after the other, we're going to either elevate ourselves, purify ourselves, refine ourselves, or otherwise. So it's all on us. Ishvara is not responsible for the mess we find this planet involved in right now, It's all about us. So what you grow in this lifetime is like a saving account. So you are saving your punya, you're saving your refinement. Okay, it's like a saving account. You have the money there, and then when you see, you can retire and so on. It's deposit. There is an account for each soul, a karmic account for each soul, each of us, or all of us, and that is kept with precision by this Ishvara system. Therefore, never feel envy or jealous that somebody grows to become very refined and pure with a lot of clarity regarding the highest values of life, with great discrimination, great intelligence. Okay? So, this is a meritocratic system, and it all on us, our responsibility on the exercise of our human intelligence. Very few people have clarity, this clarity regarding the most fundamental primary goal of life. The clarity, people, they are just, it's like blind people touching, to find here and there, to find their way in life. But some people, they see clearly, this will not do, this will not do, this will not do, this will not do, that will do. You understand? Clarity. This is called sanshidi. And this clarity of intention, this clarity regarding my goal, the purpose of life, is a result of a lot of spirituality in previous births. Now, in this birth, what this person is going to require? Just a small effort, or almost no effort. In my case, yeah, I had to put on a lot of effort. I believe most of us are like that. But some people, they seem to be privileged. No, it's just they enjoy the efforts of previous births. Now they do not need to put up much effort. Good for them. To put in the language of the children's examination, there are two types of children. There are children that cover the portions of the studies, of every day. They like to study, they study every day, and then they keep it fresh. When they come to the examination, they don't even need to study. But there are people that are not like that. It was more like me. I want to play and enjoy and do other things. And then when comes the examination, I have to run to catch up with everything that I did not study. The same way, there are some human beings who want to do everything in one lifetime. It does not work necessarily, but it could work. There are others that they have done so much groundwork in previous life that they complete the journey in this life with almost no effort, no struggle. And then he says, for other people, the spiritual journey is so hard. They have even this concept walking on a razor's edge, whereas these other people, they are just having ease walking with no effort, enjoying life, seeing the beauty of life. So this is a good point as well. One of the indications of spiritual growth or spiritual development or refinement or purification, qualification, is that the person appears to be happy. You can see the people who are more joyful and people who are not, who are suffering. So this is another indication. So here he says, this person is going to go through life enjoying everything. Saying, no, it's beautiful, it's so good, and so on, and enjoy. And the other people, they have bad tendencies, bad humor, negative attitudes, and they suffer. They have to do a lot of work to strive. But the the refined and purified soul, the spiritual genius, reach the destination easily, means consequently as a result of the limited use of his free will. He did not have to work much. His discrimination, exercise of viveka, it was clear. It's very clear for somebody highly developed. How could Ramana Maharaj just at the age of 17 or so do that viveka at the time that he was experiencing the death of his physical body? From where from this standard, that inquiry came, who is really dying here? Who is going to die? Am I subject to death? What is this I? What am I? You know? And then he clearly, no, the body will die, okay, but I'm not the body. So where did that come from? Okay. Verse 46. Dhyanayōgi is greater than ascetics. These Dhyanayōgis is considered even greater than yōgis. Dhyana is greater than karma yogis, therefore become a dhyana yogi or Arjuna. So it appears to be confusing because he used different language. And Swami Paramarthananda came at our rescue here to explain what was the meaning of ascetics, Dhyanayōgi. Dhyanayōgi here goes for Nididhyasaka, the Nididhyasaka, the one who is, went beyond Shravana and Manana. Dhyanayōgi here means the people who are working, because he says it's greater than the Dhyanayōgis. The Dhyanayōgis is the ones doing Shravana and Manana. So the Dhyanayōgi is the one who is just applying the knowledge. The knowledge is clear, the clarity is there, and it's just applying the knowledge. Nididhyasana, contemplating. So this Nididhyasaka is greater than the ascetics, it's greater than the Dhyanayōgis, and of course is greater than karma yoga, therefore become a Nididhyasaka or Arjuna. And then Swami says that, in fact, with the previous verse, Krishna's answers to Arjuna's question is over. I said up to 46, he would be answering and calming down Arjuna. And then, but this 46 is something else. Arjuna need not... Therefore, Arjuna need not be pessimistic because, as I said, the minimum you are going to get for attending, to go into this process in which Arjuna was immersed in the presence of the, Krishna Guru, the minimum you're going to get is what is spiritual elevation and celestial punya. So it's the minimum. You're already getting so much. And you may get moksha. If you don't get moksha, at least you got the consolation prize, which is spiritual growth and svarga. And be sure that next life you're gonna complete your journey. Suppose someone asks Swami Paramarthananda, that I may have some sanchita karma hanging there because I killed a snake, okay, in a previous thing. So now what's going to happen? So that sanchita could prevent me, I may I may be very, very pure and elevate, but how about some karma that could prevent my completion? Is it possible? The scripture says, even if there are some sanchita papas, there are many sanchita papas. We all have a load of sanchita papas, suspend, waiting to manifest, to fructify as Prabhupada. When they are suspended, they represent potential obstacles hidden in the causal body or the subconscious mind. Even if there are some sanchitas there, these spiritual vasanas, these spiritual tendencies of samkaras are so powerful that they give a stay order to the sanchita papa. The first time that I remember seeing him saying, addressing this Sanchita as it's going to be frozen, you know. I give you a stay order to the Sanchita Papam. I'm here to complete my journey. So Sanchitas are paralyzed, are frozen. You know? They are not going to represent an obstacle. Why? Because I have such a momentum, a spiritual vasana tendency. I want so much to complete my journey, my spiritual journey. Huh? Doesn't matter. You may have done horrible things. Everything is going to be frozen. And then what happens? The scriptures say again and again. And then when the self-knowledge, all the Sanchita is destroyed. Okay, it sounds like something exoteric, but it's not really exoteric, you know, because self-knowledge is a shift of identity from your karmic identity, you know, the body-mind that is governed by karmas. Once you disidentify from the entire body-mind sense system in connection with the laws of karma, you claim your identity in consciousness, and then those sanchitas, they lose all the energy, and then it says that they are destroyed. These spiritual samskaras of this lifetime you came with, they are very powerful. They are going to keep whatsoever sanchita papa you have at bay. They will not destroy it. To destroy it, you need what? Atmayana. You know, it's very beautiful. I loved when I read that because I like the construct, you know, that you're just a freezing order, you know. And then they destroy it with Atmayana. Therefore, they keep the Sanchita Papas at bay. At bay means what? Held, right? That's the understanding I got. They do not destroy. To destroy, one needs the Atmayana. The Sanchita is kept at bay. In the next birth, this person, suppose it's does not complete one's journey of the soul in this same lifetime, in the next one, it's going to be very easy. The entire process is going to be wrapped and effortless. Jnana is going to destroy Sanchita Papa. And therefore, you need not even worry about Sanchita Papa. I mean, how can you purify this body-mind system of the three bodies, causal, subtle, and physical body? How can you fully purify that just, by your effort to observe Dharma, and use that discrimination and doing your, how can you purify that? There are so many impressions that come from many lifetimes. That's why we say there is no 100% purification. The body, mind, sense complex, it's going to be purified only in the fire of self-knowledge to the extent that it destroys the identification with the karmic identity, So thus one need not be pessimistic. Therefore, never ask the question, when I'm going to get purification, when I'm going to attain moksha, or will I attain it at this lifetime? Stop these questions. Enjoy this spiritual journey. This is beautiful. Enjoy the spiritual process. Journey is the best game in town in the light of the teachings of the Upanishads. It's like for people who are good readers, so you get one of those huge books with 700 pages, so you say, oh my God, I'm never going to end it. Look how many pages. Don't worry, just go 1 page a day, and then in 2 years you finish the book. So have this attitude in regards to your life. Do not ask, don't get anxious about that. Will be this verse, next verse. Okay. So all these questions are answered with the 45th verse. So now he's just saying that this verse 46 is already out of the context of Arjuna's concern. Now he's just wanting to revise the upasanas or the spiritual sadhanas that we have, Karma Yoga, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, Upasana. So he's just the last 2 verses, he wants to just remind us of the main topic of the chapter 6, which is Upasana/Nididhyasana. So now in this final verse, Krishna is coming back to the topic of dhyāna or meditation to conclude the verse 6. In these 2 verses, Krishna wants to glorify Vedantic meditation. And by glorifying Vedantic meditation, he's glorifying a Vedantic meditator. When the meditator is glorified, the meditation is glorified, and the journey becomes pleasant. Therefore, he talks about many sadhakas, and he says among all these sadhakas, the greatest one is the Vedantic Nididhyasaka, Vedantic meditator, because he is on the threshold of liberation. And he calls the Nididhyasaka, he calls the Yogi by the name of Yogi here. Who are the various yogis Krishna enumerates? Who are committed to upasana, one set of yogis or spiritual seekers, spiritual aspirants, tapasvis. There are different kinds of upasakas, of sadhakas, and then we have the upasakas. We have saguna upasakas that do meditation on the saguna nature of Ishvara. And then there are all kinds of spiritual efforts or spiritual sadhanas, different groups of seekers doing spiritual effort, putting up spiritual efforts in the direction of spiritual growth. And then when he say the yanis or the yana yoga, he refers to the people who are committed to the Shravanam and Mananam. Shravanam and Mananam. So they are another set of sadhakas or seekers or yogis. So the other one that he mentioned was the karmi bhyaha. Karmis are those who are committed to karma yoga. Those who are committed to karma yoga, those who are committed to upasana, those who are committed to shravana and manana. And finally, the fourth kind of sadhaka are those committed to nididhyasana. The Vedantic meditation is the highest, the karma, and then karma yoga, upasana yoga, shravana and manana. So in the sequence, how you say? On the gradual order, we begin to karma, and then we go into upasana, and then we go into shravana, we go into manana, and then we go into nididhyasana. Whatever step you are yogi. If you are the Karma Yoga step, great. Upasana Yoga, great. Shravana, great. Manana. All of them are called yogis here. Among the yogis, Krishna says, those who are in the Nididhyasana stage, the fifth and final stage, they are the greatest yogis because they are the closest to the final destination. They have already crossed the first four steps, which is karma, upasana, shravana, and manana, and they are just in the last step, fifth step. The next step is natural clarity in regards to one's true nature. The one who is upasana level has to go through shravana, and then he repeats, if you are on the Karma Yoga, you have to go through all the other stages. And then as you go up, you have gone already through some previous stage when you are Nididhyasaka. So you got to the last stage, the last level of spiritual effort. And then in Nididhyasaka, the Vedantic Nididhyasana is a kind of a spiritual effort, which is very subtle. It's more like remembering the teachings with such a love and passion. You are so immersed in those final declarations of the Upanishads. It does not involve much effort. It's just, you just have to soak, saturate in those breaths around the final declarations, So, one who is at the Nididhyasana level is the closest to the destination. Let me close my window here. Therefore, Krishna says, Yoga means Vedantic meditator, is superior to all other yogis. When he says is superior to the jñānis, is the ones that are doing the jnana yoga on the shravana and manana. They are listening to the knowledge and reflecting upon the knowledge. So this is pretty much it, but I think there is another verse to come, which is more or less a repetition. Therefore, Arjuna, if you want moksha, you have not only to do shravana. He says the guru will help you with shravana. In fact, shravana, you need a guru. The predominant role in the shravana stage is played by the guru. The disciple has only to make himself open and available without fighting the teachings of the guru. You just open your mind, the teacher will fill it up with knowledge. But the mind should be receptive, empty. Only then the teachings can be fed into that mind. If the student comes with a full mind, nothing can go in, You're already too full, Oh, you were half full, but some knowledge can go there, but there is a lot of things there that are not good knowledge that are going to create confusion. It's the most common thing, So the disciple should, during the Shravana, should keep aside all notions which are not Vedantic notions. Total confusion regarding many books one reads. I have some student that in Brazil that They are with me for so long, but still they are still there connecting with this mess that you find in the Neo-Advaita and spiritual samsara and all these different notions and concepts and experiential, esoteric. So I mean, it's so difficult to find a mature individual who has this clarity on, what's the shortest way to prevent delay in this process. People get in total confusion because of they keep, connected to a lot of different sources. Keep aside all the notions, give time to Vedanta. Otherwise, the teacher has to do a hard work of trying to remove all the rubbish that you digest, believing it was good knowledge, It's almost impossible. I'm coming to this conclusion. James have a good insight about that. Once you digest bad knowledge, believing that it's good knowledge, and then it's in your system, and then to sort it out, to remove it from your system later on is very difficult. So keep all your personal and your prejudice, your bad knowledge, your informations from all these things that you have outside the scope of Vedanta and the Upanishads in the Vedas. Come with a clean, open mind, and the Guru will help you to fill it in with pure knowledge. Therefore, jnani refers to those in the Shravana Manana stage. And Krishna says that it's not enough. You have to listen, you have to reflect, you need to raise your questions and doubts, clear the doubts with the Guru and so on. The Guru may be the greatest, the teaching may be present in the best possible way, but without nididhyasana, the journey will not be completed. Guru cannot do the nididhyasana for the disciple. Assimilation is up to each one of us. Therefore, Arjuna, I can only teach you, but assimilation is your homework. And this is what we call nididhyasana. Not many people go into nididhyasana. I was talking to Sylvie yesterday or the day before yesterday. It seems that people, they are satisfied with meeting, regularly meeting in a Vedanta class to get some Shravana that somehow pacifies the mind. It's almost like a fixing. You just, okay. And then they forget about doing homework. They just carry on their lives. And then, oh, no, I cannot skip. I need my class. Therefore, never stop with just listening to the teachings. And he says, between this Sunday and the next Sunday, which was the next class of the Gita, try to spend time recollecting the teachings, revising the teachings, look into your notes if you write notes, seeing in which way your life is reflecting this knowledge you have heard. Try to find out what I know and what you know and what you are to see if it's harmonized. Do this self-examination upon yourself. Be honest. And now Krishna concludes in the 47th verse, again, glorifying the meditator. So the final verse, I think we're going to finish today this chapter 6 because it's a repetition. Even among all dhyana yogis, that faithful one who meditates upon me with mind absorbed in me is considered by me as the best yogi. So he brought a concept which is going to be hammered through the seventh chapter, which is devotion, which in the West, people, they don't feel much attracted, you know. Devotion to God, devotion to Saguneshwara, Nirguneshwara. Among all these Dhyanayōgis, among all the Nididhyasakas, that faithful one who really meditates upon me with a mind totally absorbed in me is considered to be the best among my Nididhyasakas. My best yogis are the one that keeps the mind in me, totally absorbed in me, because they understood that my nature and Jiva's nature is one and the same. These are the greatest yoga because it's close to the destination, the same concepts. Now, here he answers, meditator of what? So when you are meditating, you need an object of meditation. Oh, no, it's the fifth dimension, it's this or that. Meditation can only work if you have an object of meditation. Otherwise, if you don't choose it carefully, even a murderer can be called to be a meditator because he is meditating upon his or her next victim. He is doing what? He is doing assassination, which was premeditated. The very word denotes it. Be very careful with your object of meditation. Let it be God and God and God, and that makes you a devotee of God, makes you an Nididhyasaka with an attitude of appreciation, love, and devotion towards the Satchitananda Brahman, our very nature. And for that, of course, we need to have Shraddha. If you don't have trust in the scripture, trust in God, trust in the Guru, nothing is possible. Trust, faith, Shraddha in the efficacy of the scriptures on Nididhyasana and Upasana, the 6th chapter of the Gita. The mind must be absorbed in these teachings, absorbed in me. Total concentration, obsession with concluding this spiritual journey, knowing that the timing is in the hands of the Lord, but you can't help but your mind is totally immersed into this search, which has the fragrance of devotion within it. This is the greatest of all sadhakas or yogis. Among all the yogs, that means the one who practices karma, upasana, or shravana mana. In all the nidhyasana yoga is the highest, especially the one with the spirit of love and devotion for the only reality there is, which is Satchitananda Brahman. This is my teaching, Arjuna says Krishna Guru. Hari Om. So we have concluded the 6th chapter, and if you guys agree, we don't need to go through summary. Summary is part of homework. You can review this if you feel inclined. If you agree, we can go into the chapter 7, which is about the nature of Brahman and devotion. We keep it on Fridays. Okay? Anything else?
Great chapter, very practical, very helpful. So, and very well unfolded by you, Arlindo. So thank you for that. It was great.
Thank you, my brother. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishate Om Shanti 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 Om. Okay, namaste. Meet again with Keno. Keno is beautiful. I'm reading a little bit of the next chapter there with the few verses. Very beautiful. We'll have fun. Much love. Bye-bye.
Thank you.